I think I took yesterday for granted. The 80 degrees, I was sweating. I kind of hated it, but then I had to break out my big winter coat again today, and I'm just not loving it. Fire crews were first called to the scene yesterday around 11:50 in the morning, and they have still not been able to get inside the building. What was supposed to be a casual Q&A quickly turning into a yelling match over cuts from President Donald Trump's spending bill last month. Husker volleyball tickets are often the hottest item around in the state, but with some changes ahead, it will become even more expensive for some. Jerica Hamry's home was just near 35th Street and Huntington Avenue here in Lincoln, but over here, this is where her body was found, near Oxford in Furness County. With the new law starting today, the Nebraska State Patrol is keeping an extra eye on vehicles stopped along the side of the road. Hopefully this doesn't fly off here with the wind, but as you can see, I've already got part of my costume ready. Officers swarming Doan's campus after that terrifying call of an armed suspect came in. For about an hour, students and staff sheltered inside buildings before hearing the all clear.
Is there anything Larson said about connecting the fans?
Yeah, she said this was really a grassroots effort to make those connections and keep the momentum building. She also talked about getting out and about and making sure people from all over Nebraska feel included.
The 8-mile manhunt happening right here near the Pleasantdale and Crete exits off of Interstate 80. You can actually see the large area behind me here that is being used for some of those upgrades. I'm here on the corner of Highway 77 and Pioneers Boulevard where Goodrich's body was found.
We are choosing not to share the video until we independently identify the man seen and heard making the derogatory comments.
They are definitely excited to just see some Husker football again and really ready for the season to start. Here in the heart of the capital city, hundreds are lining up along O Street to get one message across: power belongs to the people.
No kings!
A nationwide protest hitting the streets of Lincoln today as people from all over Nebraska were holding up signs, waving flags, and making their voices heard.
I am so proud and glad to see all this. I came out in front of the Capitol on President's Day in the snowstorm, and there were about 35 of us then, but this is great. This is great. This is what it's all about.
The No Kings movement is an effort to support democracy and speak out against what they call the authoritarian actions of the Trump administration. These demonstrations also come on the heels of protests that flared up across the country over immigration raids, including one earlier this week in Omaha. Protesters Sam and Alex tell me they are joining the fight for the community.
We're all citizens, and the people of our community are being affected by what's happening. There are raids in Omaha at places, taking people away from their families.
With no due process.
With no due process, and we have federal workers here who have lost their jobs, and because we're citizens of this country, we're all affected, and so it's just important for us to have our voices heard as it is any other place in the country.
Sandy and Marty say this is their first time ever protesting, and they believe this is bigger than themselves.
And I worry about the future for my children and my grandchildren. I want them to be able to vote and to be treated fairly, and all people in our lives are of value.
Many of the protesters I spoke with today say this is just the beginning and they will not be silenced. Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News. I'm here at Station 1 on 18th and Q Street. I've got my official fire hat on that Captain Jonathan Reed let me borrow, and he showed me exactly what it takes to be a part of his crew. Becoming a part of the Lincoln Fire and Rescue Crew is not for the weak. Recruits go through an 18-week academic course and then a 6-month probation period when they are out in the field. On Monday, I got to experience a small part of what it takes to be a Lincoln firefighter.
And the key to this is to get it high on your shoulders, and you see these straps just like a high school backpack. Okay. Pull these straps tight on both sides.
Captain Jonathan Reed walking me through the process of putting on the heavy fire gear. I got all this gear on here. Captain Reed just helped me put it on. He says it usually takes them under 2 minutes to get everything on here.
Took me about 20.
I even got to learn the safe and proper way to hold the hose. Recruits go through mini drills, which include practicing using that hose and putting the ladders to use. Station 1 has a 105-foot ladder, which they demonstrated for me today. Captain Reed says one of their men is starting out their probation period, and they have been putting him to work.
Tad was assigned Engine 1. We had some people have to go to training, some people took vacation. We needed to move Tad over to my rig so that we could have our 3 people on the rig to stay in service, and 4 minutes later, he's doing interior primary search on a 3-alarm fire with 3 houses involved. It can be that quick.
He says although the job requires a lot of hard work and late nights, there are so many benefits.
With that comes a brotherhood that you can't find anywhere else. You live with these people for 24 hours a day, 1/3 of your life. Some of your best friends that you will ever have are going to become your coworkers. Also, the fulfillment that you get from helping your fellow citizens get through their hardest day, every day of work, is something that can't be duplicated in any other job.
I definitely have a lot of respect for the firemen and women who help out around our community. And after all of my training today, I think I'll stick to reporting. White House following through weeks after ordering the Pentagon to prepare for military action in Nigeria. Officials conducting a Christmas Day attack, saying this comes as a way to stop violence against Christians. Here's one more look at the damage today. You can see the smoke billowing into the air out of the top of a 4-story apartment complex. Nebraska volleyball is pulling in fans across the nation, and that's sparking a trend. College volleyball games are constantly shattering TV ratings and attendance records. Tom Osborne giving fans the chance to get their very own special message from the icon himself. And as a plus, each message is going towards a greater cause. Extreme weather is taking aim at both coasts. A winter storm in the east and more rain for the west. All of this comes as millions of Americans travel home for their holiday destinations. Israeli President Benjamin Netanyahu are scheduled to meet face to face. It comes as Iran's president claims their country is at war with the U.S. and Israel. Nebraska football is going through a bit of a transitional phase, with Dylan Raiola expected to hit the transfer portal when it officially opens. We have a lot going on this morning. We have new data showing safer cities around the country. But first, let's get you ready for the day. Walking high up on the park's monorail, balancing 100 feet above the ground. Luke Spencer, on General Hospital for nearly 40 years here on ABC, has passed away at the age of 78. From the Music City to the Capital City, sports director Nate Johnson was in Nashville. He's breaking down the game for us.